Hey everybody, and welcome to the 5th episode of the Yap Off podcast. I am your host, Ted. With me, as always, are Sam and Joe. John is away on assignment. He will not be joining us today, but in his place, I have special guest, our executive producer, Raish. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah,
I'm glad I got an immediate response this time instead of the pause. Really happy. We're going places now.
I was actually going to lean into the pause. I was going to lean into the pause, and I was going to not answer until I got like either some drum roll, some applause, a laugh track.
You got a cheer, though. You did get a cheer.
I can't help but cheer Ras out here. He's the best.
Yes.
Thank you for calling me my correct name.
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate that very much.
Oh, it's not Raish?
No, it is not.
I've only known you for 9 years. I thought,
I know you want to be comic book accurate, but no, that is not my name.
Okay.
After a few years at working at MLB.com, my good buddy Adam Rubin started calling me Al Ghul. I was like, oh shit, you're literally the first person in my entire life who called me Al Ghul because my nickname is Ras. My full name is Raziel, but everybody calls me Ras. And he was like, oh, Ras Al Ghul. And then it just like stuck. And then it died down. But I kept it. I like took it over. It's like, cool. So
there's some store on like 14th Street in Manhattan. Because like I was walking when we were still at MLB, I was walking to Chelsea Market where we worked, and on that street there was some place called like Ras. It was maybe it was a Rasta place, maybe it wasn't. It was like Ras Abagula, and I was like. And I took a picture and like posted it saying, "Isn't that the villain from Batman?"
Gabagool.
Maybe it was an Italian meat shop.
Maybe
no. Consider that.
Look, thinking about the facade now, no. But I am sad John's not here, away on assignment, because it is the MLB preview. This episode, usually we drop on Monday. This is dropping on opening day, Thursday, I believe. You know how I love to date these podcasts. As I love to date them. Rest in peace, Bryce Harper, as reported by Bob Nightingale. I can't believe generational talent lost because of a misspelling. Incredible.
And journalist. And two-time MVP and journalist.
Yeah.
Bryce Harper.
Yeah. I mean, I did see that and immediately clutched my chest. I was like, what the fuck? It was Bob being Bob. Bob Nightingale is loved for obvious reasons amongst baseball circles for his amazing social media presence.
I know everyone loves to like joke on him, call him boob, all that stuff because of his constant mistakes. As a Dodger fan, Bob's my North Star knight in shining armor because he was the one who broke that Shohei Ohtani was not on that plane. So I do give him, sometimes he is right.
I mean, is it breaking? Like, is that the news everyone was waiting for? He's not on the plane.
Well,
everybody was waiting for he signed.
It would have been a situation.
Yeah.
I guess. That's like celebrating the launch of we're going to the moon, the plane has launched, or maybe it hasn't. No, you celebrate the landing. You celebrate like actual historic milestones. You don't celebrate I don't know.
I don't know what happened. The person who said there was a plane to
there was a tracker,
Toronto, that guy who tweeted it, do you think he deleted his account, scrubbed everything, or he leaned into it?
I mean, look, there was a lot of information that was coming out, right? There was information about a restaurant that was already booked in Toronto. There was it was just a lot of information that could have potentially been true. But ultimately, the big winner was he signed. I remember I was in the Bahamas for the Don't Blink Home Run Derby. And I got the passing breaking the tweet.
Passing gas.
The passing gas.
Oh Jesus.
And I immediately went into Twitter make sure it was really him. And then I was surrounded by a whole bunch of fucking baseball players. And like I start literally just showing, like holding my phone up. I was like, and everybody was like, what the fuck? Like it was such a like a crazy, chaotic moment that it still makes my jaw drop. Like I don't know. It was probably one of the coolest things that did not involve any of my teams that I've been part of. And then I texted Ted.
Ras, I was gonna say, you were the one who broke the news to me. Because like that day before I was so resigned that like this is real, Andrew Friedman, greatest fumbler of all time. And so like I just like didn't want to look at social media because it's like I can't even imagining the post of like Shohei Ohtani walking off that plane like would have melted my like
flames and smoke behind him.
Like my brain would have melted. I was like, I can't risk looking at this.
Would have looked like Nixon to Ted on the plane.
If he Shohei Ohtani famous for walking up and doing the double peace signs.
Coming out of the plane like this with his dog. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it would listen. It sucks honestly. It sucks for everybody else except the Dodgers. I'm just glad that we were not like the Yankees. I say we because I'm a Yankee fan. I'm just glad that we weren't even like in the running. Like there was no like debate. We weren't like close. We weren't like
heartbroken.
No chance. I was like, cool. Even the Juan Soto thing, I'm like, cool. All right, move on. All right, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're a Blue Jays fan, like
it
how
sucks. Gotta be suck.
It's gotta be the worst feel, even worse than being an Angels fan because you knew he was leaving. It was like it's gotta be so shitty. Like, I would have been like making T-shirts already, like signs. I would have been like going to Pearson's, the airport, and like see what planes are landing and shit. Like, it's gotta suck. And like full disclosure, yeah.
I don't know how they keep being number 2 in these races. How is nobody taking their money?
Taxes.
So
taxes.
There's still taxes in California.
Tariffs. Maybe?
Now when he's making $2 million, having 680 million deferred.
You give up a good point, Ras. Now that does Toronto, are they paying like a 90% tariff just to play baseball? How is this working?
Baseball, I don't know. It's a weird time. It's a weird time, particularly. I mean, and I guess we could kind of go. I mean, now that we're in the Ohtani, I don't know. I know this is not like, but we could talk a little bit about how you almost helped Shohei Ohtani sign.
No, I believe it was I had helped Yamamoto almost signed with the Giants. I believe is the story. So
Yamamoto, yes, correct.
This is obviously two off season ago. That were off season after post. It's the same off season as Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah. That's why I like they're all one big story in my brain because there's so many things going on at the same time. Yeah, it was insane.
I get a text from Ras asking me if I knew anyone that could be translate for English to Japanese for video, and I was like, let me see if I can ask someone.
Ted immediately got offended. He was like, "Why would you ask me, Ras?"
Is that what I did?
And I was like nervous. I was like,
I should have been. Know what?
Because you're from the West Coast. I don't know.
Good answer.
Well, good answer. I did reach out to someone I had met in college in New York who lives in New York and from New York. I reached out to my friend who speaks pretty fluent Japanese, but I was like, does he know anyone? And I think you were also looking for a voice actor at that point. Yeah,
voiceover, yeah.
So
the voiceover was for Ohtani, and the translations were for Yamamoto. That's why I kind of like...
Yeah, so I reached out to him. He was like, hey, here's this guy. I passed along the info to Ras. There's a couple back and forth between us about getting the information and all that. Some changes to either the briefing of the video, purpose of the video, all that, like changing rates and all that. It gets to the point where we are in November, I want to say.
Yeah.
And I hadn't heard anything from Ras until that day where Yamamoto had signed. He did not go to Thursday Night Football. And I had joked, tweeting, perfect time to go to Dodger Stadium for your physical. And little did I know, 2 hours later, he had signed with the Dodgers. Ras once again texted me, congratulations. Beat, next message. FYI, I think now's a good time to tell you that I work for the Giants. So little did I know, I was assisting Ras in the recruitment process for both Shohei Ohtani and Yoshinobu Yamamoto. I told that story. I told it to my dad. He loves the story, but he's like, if Yamamoto had signed with the Giants, I would have killed you.
To be fair, there was no malicious intent. I was not attempting to deceive Ted. There was just like a massive gag order. We were not even allowed.
Yeah, it's like I trust Ras. Because I had assumed it was like maybe for another Fox documentary. That was my assumption, which why I didn't ask. Because I
appreciate you not asking. You would have put me in a terrible spot. And you were a great friend, and you acted as such.
Yeah.
And I did feel bad. I was like, oh man, if I sign him away, it would be not me, but if the team that I work for signs him away, it would be awkward conversation with you and other Dodgers.
I know. I'm so glad that happened because the story's so funny, and I'm so because I also told it. My family's we're huge baseball fans in general, but obviously Dodger fans and a Cub fan.
Yeah.
But I told that story at Thanksgiving, and brought the fucking room down.
I mean, look, you have a couple of World Series to celebrate with. The story is that I worked for 2 seasons with the San Francisco Giants. I worked in their video coaching department. What I did was just basically create cool, uplifting videos for the team, and that was what I thought was going to be the bulk of my job. The very first off season, they were like, oh yeah, by the way, as soon as the season ends, you have to work on these recruitment videos. And they sent me a few of the recruitment videos, and they were kind of boring and lame. And you ever seen that? I don't know if you guys have seen Entourage when they are trying to recruit Vinny Chase, and then they play him that crappy video with oh, McDonald's, Coca-Cola, you can be a brand too. We can make that happen for you. And he's like, this is fucking shitty. I don't want this. That's kind of what the vibe was of the videos that they were creating. So we went the complete and opposite direction. We were like, no, we're going to create the most personal, memorable, where we did deep dives into their histories, their upbringing, looked at every possible video that we could find. Yamamoto actually had a documentary made on his life while he was in Japan, and that came out the year before. So I've seen him at every award ceremony for every potential award he has won in the Japanese league. I saw all his crazy workouts. I saw his dog. I basically know pretty much. I knew everything about him and Shohei and Young Ho Lee and a couple other free agents that they were trying to do. So then we make these videos, and then somebody was like, maybe we should make them in Japanese. And I'm like, these are due in a few weeks. Maybe this would have been, yes, it's a great idea, 100%, but maybe we should have figured this out a lot sooner. So I'm scrambling on my phone. I'm literally, and it wasn't even just because, anything, me being racist towards Ted or whatever. I was literally going through every person that I know in production on my phone. I going through one by one to see if anybody knew of anybody who would do voiceovers in Japanese. And ultimately we found a company out in Japan who did the voiceovers for us. But they did not do any of the scripts or the translations. They refused to do that. They were like, no, we're just voiceover artists. We're not meddling. We're not messing with the script. You have to send us a finalized script. And I respected that because they're clearly not in the business of they didn't want to get anything wrong. It was like a you know what I'm saying? So but it turned out for Yamamoto, we were he just wanted to go to LA, where he wanted to be. And
I remember you told me the second you saw Yamamoto at the Laker game, everyone in the Giants was like, that it's a wrap.
Yeah, it's a wrap. Like he's we knew like all the intel that we had of him is like he wants to be where he is going to be seen. He likes the nightlife. He likes to go out. He likes to dress nice. He likes to roll. He has an extensive Rolex collection. Loves nice cars. So like we were like, yeah, we the video, and I can share it to you if you guys get interested. The video that we made, I had my buddy Noah Snyder, who all of you know,
Love Noah.
go to a nightclub and put a Yamamoto Giants jersey on a DJ while the party's going on, just to like, there's no comparison to nightlife in San Francisco. No offense to San Francisco and LA, obviously, but like we wanted to create like a fun kind of like cool environment, and he went in there. Shout out to Noah, shooting some DJ from behind with, you can see the Yamamoto Giants jersey. None of that mattered because he got the money and the place he wanted to be, and he gets to play with his really cool close friend Joe.
And he, gets the World Series out of it to beat the stinky, evil Yankees.
I have no idea what you're talking about. That's like blocked in my memory.
Well, hopefully you don't have a bad take because you will be reminded. I want to say, because this is the baseball preview, Sam and I, after recording our Disney Draft episode, we went and saw a little indie movie.
Perfect segue.
It's perfect segue. A little movie called Ephus, a baseball movie, which was... Sam says it's a baseball ass movie, if I'm getting that quote right.
That is correct. Yes.
A baseball ass movie. I called it a Terrence Malick made a baseball movie. This would be it. When we sat down, I looked over at who we were with and I asked what's the barrier of entry for this movie if Ephus is the title of the movie? Because that's not a regular baseball term. That is not said. Like Vicente Padilla, I think is who we landed on, was the last true thrower of an Ephus pitch.
That's the name I haven't thought of in a long time.
It's definitely the most recent one. The one the Ephus pitch specifically that I remember is the Yankees played the Rangers. This was like A-Rod was still on Texas. And El Duque threw him an Ephus, and he took it high. And he tried to throw it a second time, and A-Rod hit it like beyond the old Monument Park at the old stadium. So, like for me, whenever I think of Ephus, that and I guess the end of Rookie of the Year.
Oh yeah. When the movie ended, one of the cast members was there to invite everyone who had seen the movie to some drinks and meet some of the other cast at a bar. Nice guy. If you're a baseball fan, cannot recommend this movie enough. It is a fucking baseball ass movie.
I didn't know how to take. I asked you when you told me that you were going to go see this movie. I was like, "Oh, is it good?" And you were like, "It's great. Highly recommend for any sports movie enjoyer." And I just stared at it. I was like, "Wait, is this like a backhanded compliment? I don't know. Should I?" I mean, like I like sports movies, but I don't like sports movies. I like movies.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
if you are a real baseball sicko, like we are, you're gonna appreciate this movie because so much of it is about. I mean, it's really about the minutia that makes up everything around baseball more than like, oh, which team's gonna win type of thing, like a regular sports movie. Yeah. So.
Now, as always, as with the question and answer portion of these podcasts, I do have a bad take sound. I'm going to play it for you guys now, just so we all know what it sounds like, just so you know what to look out for.
The heating up Judge, who settles under this ball, but then drops it.
And there you go. That's the bad take sound. If you hear it, I'm going to have to ask you to revise your answer. Don't know, blanking on what game that's from. Probably not an important game. Probably not the biggest stage of a game. So, thought I should
right, guys. Good night. I'll see you guys later.
We're out of time. Thank you for listening to the episode
5. We have a hard out. No one's staying late.
You're lucky.
Honestly, the Freddie Freeman homer hits worse hurts worse because we were already down 3-1. Judge makes it. It's a series of unfortunate events. The Nestor decision was one singular moronic decision that altered the outcome of the World Series. So the whole fifth inning is just like a real bad luck of strings, and it stinks. But when I see that Freddie Freeman home run, I want to punch a wall every time.
Holding the bat in the air.
It's one of the stupidest decisions in baseball history.
I couldn't believe it.
I actually fell to my knees in my living room. I know that's like a meme, like, oh, I saw it. I literally fell to my knees when they cut the camera and you see the ball is going like 700 feet to right field. I'm like, oh God.
I was couldn't even watch it. I was in a lift back from a Halloween party, and I'm just like staring at my phone, and I'm like, I was just like, get a run, you know? I was just like, scratch something across. And I knew he had been hurting, who knew what you were getting from him. And so I like, maybe 3 minutes had passed, because, you know, MLB at bats on a delay. So like, probably everyone's cheering or New York is reeling, and I scream in this lift, and it feels so bad for the driver. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I apologized. Like, those were the first human words out of my mouth after his scream. But I was like, I'm so sorry, Freddie Freeman just hit a home run.
I was there was silence in my house for like 20 minutes. Like the home run hit, and I was just like, no reaction, no crying, no screaming, no nothing, no anger, just shock. It was surreal. I was just because I knew exactly. I knew what that meant. We've seen games, we've seen momentums, we've seen we've seen so many baseball games in my entire life. Like I knew exactly what that moment signified for the series, for the game, and for the series. And I was just.
I feel like I say this for all of us. If I had still been at MLB and that move had happened, everyone would have been looking and going, get ready to change every single recap. Right? Yep. I feel like everyone had that feeling like if you still had that like juice that we used to have where you're like, something's about to happen, like we would have all been getting ready to change and do must-sees and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's it fucking, I knew exactly what it meant. And for me, like personally, like for the past 2 years, I had been working for the Giants, and I worked every single baseball game. And I had very little time to watch like a full Yankee game. And once this past season ended, I did not work on free agent videos, because my boss was unceremoniously dumped. So our entire department was in flux. So, up until that point, like I hadn't really like, you know, yes, you would read the box scores. Yes, you would watch the recaps, but I hadn't really like watched a lot of Yankee baseball, and the playoffs were like super fun. I watched every series. I watched the Mets. I literally watched everything. So I was like locked in for the entire postseason, and I fell in love with it. Was like an entire season's worth of like ups and downs with the team, and you fell in love with the characters and the players, and I had like this, like, I don't know, like this sense of like, oh shit, this might be it. This is, you know what I'm saying? This is what we've been waiting for. The Soto thing, the Judge thing, even the Judge struggling shit. It just felt like this was the time, and it felt real, and it felt like close. And then it all fucking fell apart like a fucking bad cake or house of cards, or just completely shattered me. And I have not been the same since. Is it weird? Is it dramatic?
No, because Ras, if the Dodgers had lost to the Padres, I don't think I would be doing an episode titled MLB 2025 season preview. I would be dead.
We could have opted out of this?
I would be dead in a ditch if the Padres had beaten the Dodgers.
30 minutes into the record, we didn't have to do this.
You do have to do this because I'm the one who designs the games. But
all right, Saul.
But don't worry.
Also, I did not know this was an MLB preview.
Yes. No one knew until Ross. No one knew until about I want to say 9 hours ago.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know until I logged on and we started talking about it.
Well, don't worry. Sam won I believe it was the music episode, our fun little music episode.
Yeah.
He has sent me a question, and it's a fun one. In honor of the Yankees' tiramisu in a batting helmet, design a stunt food you would actually want a team to start serving at the concession stands this year. This is obviously different from the platter of sushi the Yankees will be serving at Yankee Stadium. We were talking about it before you got here, Ras. Can't imagine a worse food I'd want to eat at Yankee Stadium, during the summer.
Yes. Sushi, Bronx sushi. Yes, that's what I want.
I don't know. The entire helmet of tiramisu on a hot summer day as the Yankees are in like a 2-2 game in the 8th inning because no one can hit. It's going to hit like a brick to the bottom of your stomach.
Oh, man.
And to kind of give you a little more listeners some more little hints of other foods, the Giants are doing the life-sized baseball cup of popcorn.
The Giants and the Reds, no? I know two teams.
Maybe the Reds. I know the Giants are doing it. I've seen a lot. I will say I'm glad Sam posed this question because when we worked for MLB during the offseason, my 2 off seasons there, some of my favorite edits to do when I walked in was when the team would be like, hey, here's our like raw footage of our food for this year. Here you go. And it's just like some of the worst food you'll ever see, or like just like regular like I remember the Mets had like the Arancini boys one year at Citi Field, and it's just like rice balls. I'm like, okay, none of the rice balls are cut open. You have no idea what's inside it, so you're just like, it's just brown balls.
Oh man.
I'm trying to think of my meal. Like
I wanted themed on the team. Like I'm trying to think of like a twin something. Obviously not towers.
Preferably.
Yeah.
Preferably. Just gotta make sure.
Gotta make sure. Yeah. Because it's like go ahead, Jay.
I'm trying to think of something practical, like when you go to medieval times or whatever, and like they got the big turkey hand thing,
turkey stadium. They used to have that at Yankee Stadium. Like,
did they?
For a couple of years, the stadium, yes, because I have a picture of my friend downing a Yankee Stadium turkey leg while he was wearing socks with sandals. And I was just like, this is the most incredible confluence of events.
So I guess my
turkey leg, absolutely.
Either turkey leg or like a corn on the cob, like something baseball bat shaped, right? That he was hand, and I can tweet about how bad the Yankees offense is with my other free hand.
That you only need one hand to hold. Also, by the way, quick question. How old were you all when you found out that turkey legs were not made out of turkey?
What?
Today. What do you mean? Like the medieval time?
Ras, 32.
Today. What are you
32, months away from being 33.
Google, what is a turkey leg made out of?
Is this going to ruin my night?
Am I about to get like a turducken type?
Is this worse than the Freeman home run?
Okay, it's not as bad. All right, I thought it was going to be like a hot dog type situation. It's it's just like combined parts of a chicken or a turkey. Okay, because I'm seeing technically
at least turkey related.
The phrasing I'm reading is technically compromise of the bird's thigh and drumstick.
It is, but it is weird. It is a weird portion. There's also some that are not, that are just like ham. They think of a turkey leg when you've held it in your arm or you've eaten it. It just doesn't look like and then you look at a real turkey. It doesn't look like a fucking turkey. The turkey legs are tiny and skinny, and like you're like, wait a minute, this doesn't look like that. Anyway, carry on.
Ras, I'm seeing a headline here. No turkey legs are not made with ham.
Okay, well, the onion.
Well,
yeah. The onion got you.
The onion got you. I can't stop thinking about the boomstick, the Texas Rangers 2-foot long hot dog. It's the complete opposite of what we were just talking about. One-handed, practical food. It is 2 feet long, full of jalapenos and beans and a whole bunch of other crap.
I've always wanted to write about like in my heart of hearts, deep down, the KFC Double Down like ruined food, or like fast food, fast casual food, because like that was the first purveyor of like social media. This is hitting on social media and posting the pictures. You got to get the pictures posted. And now it is a arms race to just have the dumbest thing you can think of be at your stadium for food on Instagram.
True. Yeah, for Instagram purposes. By the way, also Dodger dogs, overrated. They don't taste good.
So this is how like I hate people who do this because Whataburgers, whatever, but people will always complain about, oh, you ordered wrong, you went to the wrong one. But I have to do it. Depending on which stand you go to at Dodger Stadium.
That is the craziest thing. It's like
I know.
The right field Dodger
I'm
dog,
telling you,
but the third base.
It's like because some are steamed, some are boiled. It's a whole fucking thing.
Ted, you're a psychopath.
I know. I know. I prefaced it with going, I hate these people, but I have to be these people.
He's like, I hate these people, but I am these people.
I think you have to sound yourself there on that take.
I haven't had a Dodgers dog since they took away the onions at the condiment stand, so I haven't had one since. It's been a couple years.
With the onions, without the onions, they're overrated and they're not good.
Is it legal to eat marlin? The fish.
I don't see why not.
Yes.
I mean, you can catch them. Right?
So obviously,
I've seen them at restaurants.
All right, here's mine. Obviously, A, the Marlins got to start killing a lot of fish. B, they got to start using the sword of the Marlin to kind of get a kebab type situation going with the meat of the fish. And that is my novelty food item. I would go to Lone Depot Park. Is that the name of the Marlins Stadium?
No.
Lone Depot isn't that Milwaukee or whatever?
Oh, maybe. I remember Pornhub wanted to buy it.
It is Lone Depot Park, home of the Marlins.
There you go. You got it.
My answer for this is I'm going to do something Yankee related, obviously. Because that's the stadium I'm at the most. I'd like to see this happen. A bloomin' onion in the shape of the NY insignia.
That's insane.
Someone hire this man.
That's wasted onion.
There's no such thing as wasted onion when I'm around. I'm just throwing it out there.
Dipping sauce in there. It's good. It works in the spring. It works in the summer. It works in the fall. Find a way to make it work. If they can sell tiramisu in a full batting helmet, they can find a way to reshape a fried onion so it looks like the Yankees logo.
Yeah, that's two different foods. Tiramisu is like a dessert that can be shaped in many different things. You're like an onion's shaped like an onion, brother.
But listen, like the Yankees, like if they're not gonna like retain the top free agents, they're not gonna go above and beyond spending on players. They need to find some way to stand out in a crowded food marketplace. I don't think the tiramisu thing's going to last. Everyone loves bloomin' onions. It's vegetarian friendly. That's great. And it's gimmicky enough with the logo. So
all right. But here's my problem. Obviously, you have to get a different ratio of A can't be called a bloomin' onion. I believe that's registered trademarked.
It has to be some Yankee pun style onion name.
The Aaron Judge
Grand Slam onion or whatever you want to call it. But you guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's insane. I'm just trying to think of the logistics, and it's just not working.
You know what? You didn't play the bad take sound, so I'm considering it a win, even if it's not the most popular.
Just think about carrying that, like from the stand to your seat, a blooming onion. Like, how would you serve it? Like, would it be on a tray? I don't know.
Loose on a tray.
Yeah, I think one of those like cardboard trays where the sides come in.
Without the drinks hold?
Like 5 hot dogs. Yeah.
I'm just going to go out and say it. Like, Ted not playing the bad take sound effect was probably a mistake.
No, because here's what would have been the bad take. If someone's
worst take, I guarantee it.
If someone's like, 5 hot dogs and a helmet. Like, obviously that, because did you see that one? Because the Mets are doing that. For $25, you can get like maybe 25 hot dogs or something, 12 hot dogs.
Okay, but like
in a batting helmet.
The Mets are gonna let your mom in the clubhouse, so
not my mom.
That's the pitch. That's the pitch. That's what works.
My mom's never going to a freaking. My mom doesn't even go to Dodger Stadium.
Listen,
Probably.
tell it to Soto.
Jeez.
Joe, Ras, I need some kind of food from you guys.
I did my thing. My baseball.
Oh, you want the make fun of the Yankees offense? Got it.
Yeah, so I have a hand for you to tweet about how bad they are.
I want a pizza in the shape of a sewer cap lid. With
pizzas are already shaped like a sewer.
With the condiments covering and you know what I'm saying, like the pepperoni. You know how a fucking sewer lid thing looks like? It's got the grates.
Like,
it's got
Ninja Turtle style.
Ninja Turtle style. Come on, man. Use your imagination. Oh, it's already round. It's already in the shape.
Yeah, it is already round.
Come on, Ted. Jesus.
I'm sorry I don't have the unique wonderment of a child anymore.
Now that he knows what turkey legs are made.
Yeah, now that I know at the age of 32 I learned what turkey legs are made out of. Turkey, my world's been shattered.
Oh man, different pieces of the turkey. It's not the turkey leg. Continue.
Where did the novelty helmet come from? Some guy was like, just put
smartest man.
Just put nachos in it. Kids will fucking eat it. And like,
I think ice cream is the originator of this. Right?
I think ice cream
ice cream is the originator. Just put ice cream in it. Kids will freaking love it. Make extra.
You don't even need to wash it. You don't even need to wash it. Just fucking put ice cream in it. They'll eat it. It doesn't matter. God.
All right.
Think about how gross old baseball stadiums used to be. Like, think about like the unsanitary conditions in an old baseball stadium.
What do you mean? What do you mean? The Oakland Coliseum was open for like 20 extra years longer than it probably should have.
I mean, I remember going to the old Yankee Stadium when I was little, and that place was like you would be. It was cool. You would watch games, and it was like whatever. You weren't there to fucking, but it was kind of gross.
I'm assuming you guys had the trench urinals as well. Before Dodger Stadium was renovated, they had them, and I remember as a child, I was like, "This doesn't seem correct."
Wrigley has those. They're something else.
Still,
man.
I mean, as of 2011.
Okay, that's pre-World Series money.
That's recent enough.
That's fair. All right, with that out of the way, let's get with a boring question done out of the way first. Division winners and World Series results.
I just want to ask.
Oh, sorry. You know what, Joe? Thank you, hero, legend, Joe.
I've been waiting for the results.
I've decided. I have a couple things to say. Some people very mad that we're letting Pixar movies get picked because technically they're not Disney movies. We have all decided. This was before the draft. Yep. I'm here to defend Perez because he was the one who was called out the most because of it. That Pixar movies were okay. They were under purview of the judge, me. You could draft Pixar movies. That was okay. So if you want to change your vote because of that, go ahead. I'm gonna wait till each draft episode to announce the winner. So every 2 episodes.
Oh,
all right.
Yeah. So if you haven't voted, once again, the Google Doc will be, or the Google form will be in the show notes. Please vote. Because if I win again, I don't think people are gonna be happy.
The last draft.
Yes, it'll. Because I can tell you right now, your boy's winning.
It's already predetermined, and
it's not. Everyone can vote. It's just, I just do the best. Heavyweights is a fantastic movie. Sam didn't watch Heavyweights. I watched Mighty Ducks. So I feel like there's a chemical imbalance here.
Ted's a good friend.
I'm a good friend.
Yeah, Ted's a real one. But that being said, I feel like I hands down won this one. I'm going to be genuinely upset if I don't get rewarded.
I don't think you're winning this one.
Sickening.
Listen,
but don't forget.
How about the social media campaign to make sure nobody votes for me? That was hurtful. That was hurtful.
Well, I figured you were my biggest competition. You should be honored.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's got to be some rules against kind of manipulating the electorate. No, like you can't
Not when Ted's in charge, Ras.
You cannot be in control of counting the votes, announcing the results.
I'm not counting the votes.
And
Google counts them for me.
Is it a transparent process that everyone can verify?
I could share this. I could share the screen.
You haven't been doing that this whole time?
I just read them out.
Murky
process.
I'm just saying. Listen,
I'm
not here to start some shit.
Do people want me
as a visitor?
Look,
I'm just saying.
You're not a visitor. You're an executive producer. One.
True.
I feel like this is all stemming from me doing a joke about how I said there were more answers for the "Did I rig the poll" one. That wasn't true. That didn't happen. Everything's on the up and up. Every question got the same amount of answers. But I just want to, because like I want to plead with people. Please vote. I would love a bigger number than last time. That's not the case right now. So please go get out and rock the vote. Vote or die. And some third vote slogan we had way back in the day for the comedy rule of threes.
Oh man.
So number one, let's just do the boring question. MLB preview. Division winners. What's the playoffs looking like? And what's your World Series outcome?
I guess we could start on the NL West, right? I mean, it's difficult to, vote against the fucking ginormous elephant that is the Dodgers, right? It's hard to choose anybody but the Dodgers to pick the NL West. They have quite possibly the greatest team.
And like ever. I wanted to also piggyback. That was said last year, and they limped into with like 2 starters and all that, and they were still like they weren't favored by panels of experts on the Athletic, but they were still look, they're still a very good team. Just because they don't have a pitching staff doesn't mean they're any less dangerous.
Yes, the best team got better. I mean, you can't argue against the fact that they got better. Like, you watched them when they were in Japan, and I'm like, oh, I hope this Sasaki kid just like sucks. Did not. Like, he looked good. Yamamoto, second time around, it's gonna be great. I mean, it's just, Mookie Betts doesn't play, and then you can pencil in a whole bunch of different players that are slightly above average or above average, and it doesn't matter. The West is the Dodgers to lose if they have multiple injuries, and like Dodger Stadium crumbles under the weight of the expectations and all the Mexican people they stole the land under.
All right, buddy.
Chavez Ravine.
I keep getting that video.
Sorry.
I keep getting that video served to me on like YouTube, and it's always the caption of like, "You will never believe what Marley's family did to these." I'm like, everyone knows. This isn't like a hidden thing. We all know. We all know it sucks.
We all know, and all Dodger fans have accepted it. They're cool with it. Anyway, so
Fernando was paved with good intentions.
All right, NL West, definitely Dodgers.
I would agree.
NL East, I cannot say the Mets. I'm sorry, I cannot say the Mets. It's just like impossible for me to say.
I feel like it's the
What do you
Philly.
mean? Financials to the team.
I feel like it's the Phillies to lose, or maybe like depends how you feel about the Braves.
I'm a fan of the Braves. I honestly think the Braves are going to be better than and again, like, expectations are expectations. Like the Mets, it's new players, big parts of a team. Joining a team always takes a little while. Like I am sneakily, I'm going to choose the Braves, but I think they're going to be a lot better than they are. They can sneak in there like the Phillies. Again, you can go Phillies, you can go Mets. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I feel like if Spencer Strider looks like he has during the spring, I feel a lot better about that rotation. Who knows? Maybe 41-year-old Jesse Chavez once again makes the Braves for the 80th time. seemingly. But like, I just feel like I know the Phillies just seem like at some point this has got to run out for the Phillies. They got to get too old.
That window's going to close. Yeah, the window's going to close at some point. Yeah, and I feel like this is that year. I feel like a lot of those older guys are just not going to perform.
And I know they
and Bryce Harper died. So.
And Bryce Harper died.
That's true.
And I feel like
tragic news this afternoon.
Yeah, I know. Painter is like gonna be a stud or whatever. However you feel about him, I feel like they're one Zach Wheeler arm injury away from that rotation crumbling.
Yeah,
I know. Also, Suarez is good too.
For like every team.
Yes, that's
what happened to the Yankees. Right?
Why do you think the Dodgers have like 15 starters after last year's debacle? After last year's debacle, they're like, we can't let this happen again.
Dodgers team has that problem. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Phillies too, just because I think the Braves have too many injury questions, like Acuna coming back from the ACL rotation. Like Ted, if Strider's healthy, great.
I hate playing the if game, but
yeah. To bet on, right. And the Mets, their offense is going to be stellar, but Clay Holmes is their ace right now. Like, I've watched a lot of Clay Holmes. Tyler McGill's the number 2 starter. Like, there's just something about that team that makes me think like it's not going to go all peaches and gravy, like the Mets fans who've been texting me for 5 months think.
God,
I think it's tough for me to go against the Braves because, like, in my head, like, the gambler's fallacy, the law of averages or whatever, like, I can't imagine the Braves will get that injured again. Like, they've had a lot of injuries, right? So, like, the odds of it, but hey, Yankees lose 15 people every year to the same injuries, and we just keep on trucking. So, to me, like, even though I think the Phillies are really fun to watch, and like they have a lot of old guys, they have players that we know, which is always nice to see and like root for. I think like likely the Braves won't be as hurt this year as they were last year, so I would pick them for the East.
Are we all cool just to say Brewers for the NL Central? Like, we feel
it's just to be.
Ooh.
I was going to say, I feel like I don't know. I feel like I can't remember the Cubs record.
He makes it through the whole season. Ellie De La Cruz breakout season.
Breakouts.
Redemption arc for Sonny Gray. No, I'm just trying to be difficult. I don't have strong opinions about the NL Central. I got to be completely honest.
I think I was going to say the Cubs as a sleeper. Like, I feel like they're getting better every year. I think they can.
I've got a different take on the Cubs that I might be able to break out later.
They continue to lose out on all these free agents like the Blue Jays. So like they have the money available to make trades to get better if they're feeling like they're close in June or July.
I definitely don't believe.
I also think the Brewers lost what's his face, Devin Williams, right? The Brewers, I think they're a very fluky team, so I don't think it's a guarantee. Like just because everyone else sucks in the division doesn't mean that the Brewers aren't also going to suck because they're very fluky.
I just always like trust the Brewers to have some creative player you've never heard of in your entire life. Be like, this is our new closer. He's 5'3", 900 pounds, and he throws 800 miles per hour. And also check out this pitch that moves in a way you've never seen in your life.
We found it in a small island.
Yeah.
You're describing like various MLB like 2K5, 2K6.
Exactly. It's just like,
but wasn't Thomas like MVP candidate, right? And they lost him.
I am an Adames unbeliever.
I'm an Adames denier, but I'm just saying statistically he was their guy. Now their closer's not there. Like
it's just like I just feel like that team is always so consistent. They'll never have the firepower to be, compete deep in the postseason until they spend a little money. But like I feel like they know how to what they got is a good thing going. They get fans in for the postseason, give them that experience, and I usually trust them to get them there.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they're solid. They're just like a well-run organization that makes do with what they have, right? But you're right. Unless they start spending, if they're close and they're willing to make a run at it, they have exciting names. Yeah.
Since 2018, my problem with that team I've said it since that Dodgers NLCS series. If the Brewers had an offense, I'd be way more terrified of the Brewers. And they never get that offense.
I mean, Jackson Chourio kind of kicks ass though, but
Jackson,
I hear you.
He's
exciting though.
He's exciting.
He's very, very exciting. I did a piece with him 2 years ago. No, last year. I mean,
we get it, Ras. You know baseball players, okay?
Shut up.
I met Kobe Bryant once and Albert Bell. All right.
I'm ready for the Olympic preview where I can just be like, yeah, I actually talked to this person. And
yeah, because that's for sure happened. Sam, we'll be recording out of your hotel room.
Yeah, can we just record from the Marriott lobby?
The Marriott lobby, the bar, Marriott bar. Does that place have a bar?
Yeah. AL West. I'm assuming we feel. I know I hate to say it. Feel it's an Astros year again. Like I think Isak Paredes
until the Mariners prove that they're not going to blow it.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to pick the Astros here.
And like I just think Isak Paredes in that ballpark is going to absolutely feast.
Yeah, it's a great acquisition.
I did see someone on ESPN.com say that the A's and Rays are both making the playoffs, so they're in on the minor league teams, and I don't mean that disparagingly. I mean literally.
Joe,
minor league.
Hey, Joe, save it. We'll have a question for that later in the show.
Oh.
But we're all feeling the Astros because, like, I want it to be the Mariners. That offense, stinky. Don't like it.
I just want it to be not the Astros. Is that
so do I. So do I. But it's gonna be them.
Angels 2073. They're coming.
They're coming.
Sell the team and get a new GM.
Player.
Ohtani the third. We'll bring them back to prominence.
2073. His child will be. I think he'll be out of the league. Would be like 50 by that point.
They just need one more first ballot Hall of Famer, bro. It's just one more. Everything's gonna be fine.
They need another player that is like, yeah, actually I think baseball really freaking sucks, but thanks for the money.
Yeah.
I feel NL or AL East, I feel like it's the Yankees. I feel like I'm
what world are you in, Ted?
Me?
Who's playing?
For what?
I feel like the Yankees
for the Yankees.
As much as I want to pick the Yankees and be like the homer of all homers, like
but who do you think it's gonna be? Yeah.
It's the Orioles, obviously.
I think that pitching, that rotation is suspect.
Yeah, I don't know how much.
I don't know how
Burns is going to hurt a lot.
I don't know how you
being hurt like he always is.
I don't know how you're optioning Kobe Mayo and just not trying to see what team with extra starters would take Kobe Mayo.
I'm a little afraid that the Red Sox are going to be. Sort of.
I was going to say, my lukewarm take is that I think the Red Sox make the playoffs this year.
I could see that.
I'm there with you.
I can see them making the playoffs because the American League kind of stinks.
Yeah.
But I think that they're I think it'll be sort of like last year where it's like the Yankees and Orioles within a few games of each other all summer, and you're just waiting for one team to actually break away from the other one. I don't think it's going to be. For them or Baltimore or Boston, a runaway in the East this year.
And, I love Walker Buehler. Love what he did for the Dodgers. Hate to take talking points from a favorite YouTuber of mine, Foolish Baseball, where he was like, Walker Buehler's a player I'm avoiding for 2025. And I agree, mainly not because of what I watched in the playoffs, but because of what I watched during that season. I know he'd still he'll be a full year from arm injury removed from second Tommy John, but that's still a hill to climb. Who knows what you might get from him? I like Garrett Crochet a lot in that rotation, so who knows what you're gonna get? Because I will be honest, I forgot he was on the team until 3 seconds ago.
Yeah,
I mean, look, that rotation is not bad, dude.
It's not bad.
No,
it's really not.
It's better than I remember.
Yeah, Giolito. I mean, it's not. I am. The worst thing that could possibly happen to a Yankee fan is the Red Sox being good and Aaron Judge hurting himself, and we fucking free fall in the division. Yeah. And that's those two things combined with the Mets being great are probably going to cause me nightmares.
Well, luckily it's not like the Red Sox have 3 prospects that are in the top 10 of top 100 lists.
Yeah.
Closing out the division at Yankee Stadium is my.
Oh my God! Yes, please. please don't. Let's not talk about that. Let's not. You know what? Let's move on.
All right.
Who's our World Series? Who's our World
No,
Series?
no, wait, hold on. You're forgetting about Comedy Central, the AL Central.
Tosh .0 and the AL Central champion.
Yeah,
I'm feeling the Tigers, and
Give me the
give me the Tigers.
The Tigers are.
I think it's time.
I'm glad they didn't spend the money on Bregman. I thought he would have been a terrible fit in that ballpark. I know I just watched Javi Baez play center field for some reason, but if they got a good thing going last year, and I definitely think they can keep it going. Maybe Spencer Torkelson's figured it out. Doubt it, but out of them, I'm taking them.
Oh no! Everyone's probably going to be like the sexy pick is going to be the Royals, right?
I was going to say, what about the Royals? They actually probably. I think I'm changing my answer. Am I allowed to change it to the Royals?
Yeah, go ahead. I think they're a trap team. I
agree.
I like Bobby. I love Bobby Witt. Great player.
Yeah,
but I think that rotation is middling. They try to be smart. I liked what they did 2 years ago, jumping the market on middling starters that they could eat innings for them. Yeah. But don't know how good that farm system is anymore. Don't know what else is coming down the line in terms of pitching help. And then World Series, what's the matchup you're looking at?
Fuck.
I'm always for what I think would be fun. And I know that goes against we need good ratings. And 1 year ago or 2 years ago, people were like, D-backs Rangers, who wants to watch that? And then we get, Dodgers Yankees, and people are like, who wants to watch that? It's a big, you can't win them all type situation. But a Reds, Battle of the Central, Reds Tigers would be fun in my opinion.
Wow.
I know you didn't pick. I know you didn't. Yeah, maybe you had fun, and maybe all the Cincinnati. I mean, where do you? I know you didn't pick them to win the division, but where? How bullish are you on the Reds?
Bullish? I think they could get in through the wild card. It's just the Central's such a weird division.
Yeah.
In general, that it could just swing because both Centrals are always like this because everyone was the Twins are gonna. Or their team in the Central last year, get ready. No, could not. Oh, 3 NL Central teams made the playoffs. They weren't one of them. And the only reason they didn't look completely out of the picture was because they played the White Sox 18 times last year.
Yeah, I mean, they're a fun team, man. I like the Reds. I feel like baseball is better when the Reds are good, just gives small market teams hope or whatever, and they have literally one of the top 5 most exciting players in baseball, in Ellie De La Cruz.
If Hunter Green had fudges the numbers a little bit better, last year compared to some underlying metrics last year, I feel like you got a great front of the rotation guy who's also a great guy. I feel like it's a win-win situation if he kind of continues to develop.
Jesus, Hunter Green. I mean, remember he was the next it guy. Everybody was very.
Oh yeah, we were there.
Everybody. We were there.
We were there.
I remember because I remember.
His career has kind of been not what it's cracked out to be, but a lot of injuries have happened.
Yeah.
But they have a lot of fun play. They have a lot of name players that are kind of fun and
also. I'm a Gavin Lux boy. I was just a huge fan of Gavin Lux. So if it's not the Dodgers, I will root for Gavin Lux always.
Yeah. I'm a big Will Benson guy, not for any other reason other than he's a really, 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 really nice guy. He's a massive human being. And I know he's not even I think he's in the minor league camp now.
Yeah.
But not projected to be on the unless something weird happens. And they're fun. A lot of names, a lot of baseball names that we've grown up watching, and Tito and Terry Francona. Obviously, I don't know. They're easy to root for. They're easy to root for team. That being said, I just don't think they're gonna be that good. But I am a big fan of Ellie De La Cruz, and I am a big fan of like this marketing push that baseball has. Like they realize that he's like this unique unicorn who's willing to kind of like put himself out there.
Yeah.
The whole English thing kind of took me by surprise a little bit. He's like really trying to speak in English. And
yeah.
like,
he dropped his interpreter this year, right? Which I think is cool.
Which is cool. Like, and it's, I don't know, man. Like baseball needs fun players.
Yeah.
Like I love Aaron Judge and I love watching him hit home runs, but I wouldn't describe him as a fun player. You know what I'm saying? Like Jazz is a fun player.
Jazz is fun.
Yeah, no, Jazz is fun. There's other players that are fun. And
if this podcast was 5 years ago, I'd get the easy sounder from Ted. But now that I think the Braves are on a bounce back and the Red Sox didn't make the playoffs. So if I said Braves over Red Sox 5 years ago, you would say duh. But now that's my prediction. I think it's Braves over the Red Sox. Yeah. I like their pitching style. Like I said, I'm a big Bregman guy. I thought more teams should have been in on Bregman. I know some of us disagree with Bregman's utility as a player or whatever. But I think it's going to be a down year for the Yankees. The Orioles pitching staff got worse. We're losing Burns, right? So I think that this allows the Red Sox to capitalize on a weak American League. And the Braves, like I said, I think very hard for them to be as injured as they were last year. So I'm taking Braves over Red Sox.
That would be a fun one.
That would be a fun one. Sam, I want you to know, fingers hovering. You know I love to play the sound, so let's hear it.
Well, you know what? I think this is going to be the first invitation to play the sound because I am going to go with. Well, you know what? I'm going to go with Yankees over Phillies. I was going to say Dodgers, but I'm trying to be different here.
I want to say really the bad answer was that. Oh, all right, hold on. You said it's going to be the Dodgers.
Up Judge, who settles under this ball, but then drops it.
I just want to say the Dodgers were the bad answer. Like,
But also, like, you know, realistically, anyone not picking the Dodgers to at least make the World Series this year is just trying too hard. So I am going to be trying too hard, and I'll say the Phillies just to be different.
That's fair.
I mean, interesting team. Yeah, I like
especially
the picks.
Do it without Harper, you know?
Yeah. Wow, with their like what number does he wear? 31 on his
three.
Wears 3 on the jersey patch.
They're going to be fueled by his memory and his jersey in the clubhouse in the dugout.
That's what I mean. Fun. They're all going to be drinking raw milk. They're all going to be figuring out. All right. Question 2. Right.
Wait, I didn't get my.
I thought you did.
I
thought Ras did. Oh my god!
Wow. Executive producer.
I know we're running a little late, but like, wow, Jesus!
I'm sorry.
I am going to go Dodgers, Tigers with Detroit. Detroit, winning their elusive championship.
He's drinking motor oil.
That organization and that franchise has had crazy ass teams over the years that never
well, Ras, you'll get your World Series preview on opening day.
There we go.
You'll get Blake Snell versus Tarek Skubal. He's 2000 early.
Not 2000 early.
Not 2000 late.
I'm bringing back the inverse of 2000 late.
Got it. Yeah, I'm putting all on board with Tigers.
I like it. Question 2. What are you looking forward to most this season? Because I want
Tiramisu in a helmet. Tiramisu in a helmet.
Because I want another Pirates Craig debacle play. Just like another oh my god, I can't believe that's a real baseball play I watched. Because I think about that play so much, and I love that play so much.
What am I looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to a brawl. I want like a old school Yasiel Puig Cincinnati Reds Pirates brawl that just breaks out, and it has multiple fights in one fight. You know what I'm saying? When they break them up, and then they come back.
The Garrett Anderson, not Garrett Anderson. Who was the reliever for the Reds? Who
Oh, Amir Garrett.
Amir Garrett.
Amir Garrett.
Re-engaged
like just
that one.
Runs. Yeah.
Oh man.
For me, like I'm dating myself, but like the Daryl Strawberry, like sneaking in the. Oh man,
yeah.
that's
early baseball memory for me.
Oh, early baseball.
I still remember the Kyle Farnsworth one, where he hits a dude and that dude like he drop tackles the guy charging him, and just starts wailing on him.
Oh man, like fights for like growing up were like the coolest, like the Pedro Martinez, Don Zimmer, Varitek, A-Rod, like those were all like sort of like cool, kind of like, like
this one's dating me. Do you remember the Coco Crispon when he was on the A's and you see the slow motion of like, I think it was against the Red Sox. He's about to get punched and he does like the most amazing, like a boxer move, like backs out of the way, like grazes his nose or something, and he leans back forward to throw a punch.
No, I don't remember that at all.
I remember watching it on repeat in high school with my friends. I was just like, you guys have to see this.
I mean, the Ramirez Beckman one, like, was just, it's just, I can't get it out of my head. Like the Rugi Odor, Jose Bautista one, like just fights are like so cool. And I want more of them. So yes, that's what I'm looking forward to. One iconic fight from this season that I can remember and talk about in a podcast 5 years from now.
Yeah. Joe, Sam, what are you looking forward to?
I think.
Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead.
So I had just done last week my fantasy draft with some of my friends, and maybe I went a little crazy. I was the wheel pick, and 5 of my first 6 picks were starting pitchers because I was like, I'm gonna take them from them. I'm gonna be ready, but also they might all get injured. I now have a terrible offense, and my pitcher's gonna suck. We'll see how it works out. But as I was looking through all of the starters, I'm like, man, it does not feel like the starters that we had in the 2010s, if we call it, if that's the era. Like it really doesn't feel like we're 15 stars deep, or every team has an ace. And like some teams, their ace might be like the 4 on another team. And I am looking forward to seeing more pitching stars come out. I know they only pitch 5 innings and they always get hurt or whatever, but I think we're kind of in a lull. We have Elliot Cruz, we got Julio Rodriguez, like a lot of fun offensive players and fielders and stuff. But I do think the game is lacking in star young pitcher potential because they keep getting Tommy John.
Wow.
So that's what I'm going to be focused on.
Joe Brown, not a casual Seattle Mariners enjoyer, doesn't know they exist. I see how it is. Brian Wu, not a name he's ever heard of in his entire life. Think it's but I like it. Sam?
Well, is that the next guy they're going to trade at the deadline? Or?
Just to sort of piggyback on Joe's thing, something I'm hoping to see. This is more of a hoping to see than like looking forward. Like it's definitely
yeah. That's kind of in the spirit of the question.
All right, so then I'm going to go with a perfect game.
Ooh.
The last perfect game was unfortunately thrown by Domingo Germán, and every time I'm reminded of that fact, it ruins my afternoon. And sort of like Joe said, there's maybe not this incredible run of starting pitching, but the thing is, like, maybe some random dude like not Domingo Germán, hopefully, but someone of that caliber who's not him as a person is going to do it. Like that's the one thing where I will absolutely, stop what I'm doing no matter where I'm at and like follow along when it happens. Friend of the show, Steven Tydings, is extremely annoying about this, but like if a Yankee gets through like the top of the first, like 1, 2, 3, he's like, oh, perfect game watch. But like, I'm actually like, I'm ready to see like some people go deep into games, at least give me like the hope it's going to happen. Like, hey, everyone, like put on MLB Network, like, someone's in the 7th inning, they're 8 outs away, like perfect game watch. Like, I want to see it.
All right. Question number 3. Max Scherzer was quoted asking, "Can't we just be judged by humans?" after his first game with ABS. Should ABS, the challenge system that is being implemented in spring training, be the one we use? Should it be the way going forward, or should we just stick with the umpires calling games the whole time?
It was a hot topic.
Yes, I know. That's why I'm asking the question.
I mean, it's It really, really, really. I'm curious to hear your thoughts, Ted, because as we know, you're against progress and you're against improving.
I like the challenge system. I don't like the full. I thought I'd be like, no, go full hog, go full automate, like everything
Full
in
tennis.
the. Yeah. And then, like, when I watched the challenge system, I was like, no, this is like the way forward. This is a fun, like, obviously, yeah, tap your head. Obviously, they're going to tell pitchers that you can never challenge because apparently, statistically, pitchers are wrong like 37% of the time. But like, I love the challenge. I love the idea of like, you win it, you keep it, you lose it, you lose it. And I just liked watching it during spring training.
I agree. I mean, look, you get the opportunity to correct mistakes, right? Like there's a ton of times in baseball where mistakes have gone uncorrected and have like just left a bad taste in your mouth.
Was there like a perfect game or something that was lost because of a bad call or something? That ever happened?
Maybe.
Hey, he got a car out of it. It's no big deal.
His story, a car, same thing, whatever. But yeah, no, I mean, look, it gives you an opportunity to correct egregious mistakes that are bound to happen, and the human element is overrated in my opinion a little bit. I don't know, it's just I like it. I like the system the way it was developed. I even like the funny little head tap. I think it's kind of cool. But yeah, I mean, games should not be or pitches should not be completely the Angel Hernandez in front of us for us to dissect and understand how truly awful they were. So I don't know.
It can only get faster, and it was fast during spring training.
It was fast, yeah. It definitely.
And like fast, and I'm like, wow, you can do reviews this fast after we're watching umpires stand around at like the little thing for like, or the iPad, I guess now that's being held in front of them.
Yeah, I mean, we were there when they started doing the stupid like walking over, putting on the thing, like the whole, it just
the Mytel replay of today.
Oh yeah, get that graphic in there, baby.
Oh God, even NBA replays feel slow.
In another life, we talked about it.
I've been irate at the amount of stuff that gets reviewed for like no reason.
And I feel like maybe that's kind of coloring my I don't mind it because it's the time of it.
Yeah,
it doesn't feel like it's
I'm very interested if we. Sorry to Joe and Sam for not giving you guys a chance to answer promptly, but I'm interested in like if we remove the strike zone on broadcast for a season and we stop doing like the umpire auditing thing. I wonder how less irate fans are over ticky-tacky strike zone calls. That maybe people will feel like they don't need an ABS. I know it's a whole different discussion.
I'm definitely on team get rid of the K zone on broadcast.
Yes, I'm saying so.
I like the challenge system, like especially like I'd rather have the challenge system than like what they were doing in the minors, where every call is automatically like told by the robot and the umpire relays it. My one thing though is that I feel like it was a little too like strict. Like there'd be times where they show the replay and they'd say the ball is like
less than a centimeter,
100th of an inch outside of the strike zone. Like there has to be some barrier where like, if it's less than, a quarter of an inch, whatever, make up the number, like the call stands, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Like,
I still think the strikes are,
someone says the computer says that someone missed a key strike by like a 1/10 of an inch and it turns a strike out into a walk. Like that would drive me nuts.
I don't mean to be the dissenter here, but I'm not.
I'll take it.
I do have a couple questions first. Is there a team challenge maximum on balls and strikes? And you're saying a batter and a pitcher can challenge it?
So the batter, catcher, and pitcher can challenge the call. Each team gets 2 challenges. You win a challenge, you keep that challenge. You lose that challenge, you lose one of your 2 challenges.
So like,
if you lose both 2 challenges, you do not have any more challenges.
So I know you're saying people be upset, but like, let's say the Yankees already used their first and Jazz is adamant that it's not a strike and he used it and it's the 4th inning and now real outcome strikes in the 7th or 8th inning.
Challenges the rest of the game. Yeah.
I'm saying I think there's a lot of not questions, but like people will be frustrated. It's like if the same thing with replays were only on home runs, right? It was like if the rule or if the intent is to get the rules right, then why can we only get it right on this one aspect? If the intent is to make sure the balls and strikes are correctly called, why can we only do it 2 times a game? To me personally, I'm not a fan.
The Rays and A's, for 2 completely different reasons, are playing in minor league parks. Idiot, stupid loser Rob Manfred called it the charming and intimate. Some YouTubers think it's cool. Is it?
Absolutely not. It's an embarrassment.
Well, that's not the question you have in this card.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the point of language is to be understood. As I like to say.
Is it cool? Is it cool? It depends on the perspective.
Yeah.
If you live in Sacramento and all of a sudden now you get an opportunity to see big leaguers in the ballpark that you've probably gone to your entire life, it's cool. Of course it's cool. If you are an Oakland A's fan and you've been going to the Coliseum for the entire duration of your life, less cool. For us who are like complete other side of the country or having like no skin in the game, so to speak, like it's not cool because it just signifies that something is wrong with baseball. Like there's something wrong with a team playing in a minor league stadium because something shitty has to happen for that to happen, right? A fucking stadium needs to almost be destroyed by a natural event, or a crappy owner needs to screw his entire fan base for that to happen. If that is occurring, it means something went terribly wrong. But again, it's perspective. I'm happy that the fans in Sacramento get an opportunity to see major leaguers. I'm happy for the fans in Tampa to get an opportunity to see major leaguers. But again, it's shitty because it's a symptom that something is terribly wrong with those 2 franchises.
I mean, Tampa already had a team, though. It's not like
true.
They're getting
True. That's fair.
Nowhere. I mean, yeah, I think it's 2 separate questions. Like, I think the A's thing is a complete disgrace.
That's why I said for 2 completely different
reasons. A black
reasons.
eye for Rob Manfred and all his cronies.
Well, it's not even all his cronies. It's all 30 teams unanimously agreed on this.
Baseball across.
To be like the owners are Manfred's cronies. It's the other way around.
He does their bidding 100%.
Yes, let's remember this.
Yeah. The Tampa thing, I think, for now is like they're making the most of a bad situation.
And I'm glad this is actually also forcing the issue on the Rays stadium.
I think we're going to get a resolution on this now sooner rather than later, rather than this dragging out to.
Well, I think you're going to get the Rays
or whatever.
The Rays are going to have a new owner soon because
I think they're going to have a new owner and they're going to have a new city. Like I don't see the Tampa thing lasting, much longer than that sale.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reiterate everything you guys are saying. I think it's not a good look. It's also from the players' perspective, and especially the physical players on the A's and every road team that comes is going to experience this too, right? It's not like only the A's are getting punished when the Astros come to town, when the Yankees come to town. They're also going to be in the rinky-dink minor league locker room with less amenities available, less space for reporters and everything. So I think just overall, I think the Rays one is actually kind of obviously it's a force of God situation, which no one expected, but it's also kind of nice. It's a nice group unity-ish storyline that the Yankees are allowing one of their quote unquote rivals to use their facility. So that's at least some nice unity within baseball, which we don't really see. And I think so that one I'm fine with. I just feel bad for the players in August playing in 115 degrees in Florida.
It sucks that the Rays. Sorry, it sucks that the Rays kind of get a bit of an out. Their stadium debacle was ongoing for a number of years. They get a natural disaster out for whatever you want to see it, but it's been shitty. People have not been going there. There's been they had these mock-ups of what the stadium was going to look like and what they were going to do, and now they're like, oh, look, so sorry, hurricane destroyed our stadium, we have to play minor leagues and now we have to sell the team. Sorry, you know what I'm saying? But again, it's indicative. These 2 things are a symptom that something is broken with both of these franchises, regardless of how you want to look at it or not.
Because the worst is they're still going to be profitable, right?
Yeah,
that's the frustrating thing. is that they're not putting the effort in that the
Yeah.
Dodgers and the Mets and the Yankees and the Red Sox and these other teams are putting the effort in to be, spend money to make money, and they're still going to be profitable without a lack of effort. That's what frustrates fans.
Yeah, I know this is like also a very different situation. When the Blue Jays played in Buffalo for the COVID year, did we ever hear any player talk about like bad facilities? The whole thing was like bad, or was it they just happy to be playing baseball? In 2020?
I think they were just so preoccupied with
they're just happy to be back.
All right.
Right.
I was just wondering
It
because
kind of reminds me a little bit, not to completely change sports here, but when Katrina hit and they moved the Hornets to Oklahoma City for a year, and making the most of a bad situation, but also sort of showcased like, hey, this is a place that would actually be decent at hosting a major league team down the road. So maybe there is some sort of effect of that in Sacramento if it ends up working out, but I'm extremely skeptical.
Yeah. All right. Question 5. What's the shocking trade at the deadline? Don't have to give me the full package. Who's the player getting moved?
Oh, I think it's Vladdy, 100%.
Yeah. But like, is that shocking though?
I think so, because I think the Blue Jays think he's a lifer. I think they're going to fall flat and decide like, listen, he gave it a college try. He gave it a 6 years here with us. We're getting worse, even though we're spending more and trying to spend more. Like,
but to
let's get some pitching prospects.
Trading a rental player that like you're expecting to walk is not a surprising trade to me.
They're not expecting him to walk. They think he's a lifer. That's why I'm saying it's a shock. I think by June they won't think he's a lifer.
I think they know he's not a lifer.
Bro, his dad played for. He's a Canadian citizen. I think they do think he's a lifer.
Then why hasn't he signed ink to paper?
Because Soto didn't sign in 4 different places. Like, it doesn't matter.
That's so fucking fucked up. That's 3 different places.
How would the tariff
too?
Like, if the deal's not done now, I don't think it's getting done. And I think he's gone.
He's Boris, right?
No.
Yes.
Is he?
No. He's Magnus.
Oh.
He's not. He's Magnus.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm
Magnus
saying.
If
He's not signing by now, I don't think he's gonna be sticking around.
But if from their perspective, he could sign in November. I think the Blue Jays truly do think he is coming back. As of today, as of our recording, because as of March 23rd?
It's March 23rd.
The date the podcast.
Yeah. Well, I don't like to give the actual date.
I agree with Joe in that I think it would be surprising if he gets dealt, unless the Blue Jays are like really, like in the gutter, like 15 games under 500 type of thing, which, hell, they could be. But yeah, I would be surprised if Vladdy gets moved this summer. But
really, man.
Thank you, Sam.
I just don't.
I got your back.
I just don't like. To me, that I like. It's just, I wouldn't be surprised if he got traded. For any number of reasons, he gets traded.
I mean, who
would you be surprised if they got traded, Ted?
No.
Yeah, Ted, who's your shocking trade, buddy?
I will Shohei Ohtani. Roki Sasaki.
But that's just. I mean, a shocking trade would be like a trade that's unexpected.
Yeah.
A trade that is logical for a team, right? Looking to either shed payroll, or signify a rebuild.
Like if the Tigers didn't go on that run last year, and they traded Skubal, I'd be like, this doesn't make sense for them to do. Like I would, I'd be surprised. Yeah. But trade for me, sorry. But
sorry.
Trading,
Hey, you're the executive producer.
Yeah,
you tell us what to do.
Trading a rental player that would be a rental for a team is not like a surprising thing for me to see, regardless of status. Like the Soto trade was a shocking trade, even though we all heard the rumors he might be on the move. It was still a shock to me that they even went through with it.
All right, how about this is for a shocking trade?
Elliot De La Cruz, I like it.
No. See, because that wouldn't be shocking. That would be stupid, right? You wouldn't trade a player.
Yeah.
Again, by the parameters of a shocking trade, it has to be plausible and like make sense in some level. Like, how about the Padres stink, and they trade Fernando Tatis, to signify a rebuild? Would that be a shocking?
I was really hoping this offseason that the Yankees were going
answer.
to sniff around a Tatis trade.
Because again, he's 25. How old is he? 26. Still a young guy.
He's young.
The salary is bad as
the salary by comparison is not bad.
Yeah.
He just agencies. He's now with Bad Bunny's agency now, who just had their own legal. He with his own legal fight with MLB. So like he's kind of worn out his welcome in San Diego. And if the Padres like suck, they're gonna start a fire sale.
I like that answer.
It's only $24 million a year.
Yeah, like
it's a
comparison.
His contract's a great contract. People keep saying
Stroman 20.
People keep saying the Padres are gonna hate that contract in 3 years, and I'm like, in 3 years, players are gonna be making like 35 a year. You'll be so happy to have Tatis at 24.
Yeah, 100%. And like so that would be a shocking one, right? Because everybody would assume like Xander or Arias or other name, but no, they would probably like that would signify like we're open for business.
That would be
that trainer's table in the Bronx is going to be busy though, with Tatis and Stanton and Judge and Cole.
How many elbows does Tatis have? Can we get confirmation on that?
Tatis, it has
that outfield injury history.
I believe it's the thumb is the problem for Tatis or something. I can't remember.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be fun to see him in the Bronx.
That's such a great.
Now he can keep his beard.
Yeah. All right, hold on.
The hair though, right?
I have to look at the screen because
on that.
They have to be well kept beards.
So you'd have to. But his hair, would he have to chop?
Oh, I think you still have to cut the hair.
I think it's whatever Aaron Judge decides, honestly. He seems to be the one behind all this.
That's fair.
Not Devin Williams?
You're not saying it wasn't Devin Williams holding sway with
the impetus. I think Aaron Judge was like, do you want to lose more guys because we have a stupid beard policy that's definitely illegal if it gets challenged in a federal court?
Judge was like, "Listen, I look pretty hot in the off season. I'm just going to throw it out there with my beard. So if we could look,
that's exactly what he told this season.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said.
Like,
he does look pretty handsome in the off season with that beard, though.
All right, I don't know what number 6
are gonna.
Oh, go ahead. No, what do you got?
No, I think the Cubs are going to stink, but I don't think Kyle Tucker getting flipped would really meet the parameters of shocking trade here.
No, that would actually be a shock to me because it's like. They have the money to keep him long term. They expressed they want to keep him,
but they're very, very cheap.
Yeah,
and like I think they could probably, assuming they're like 3rd or 4th in the Central in July, I could see them being like, "Hey, the only good bat is up for grabs. Who wants him?" And getting a haul. My shocking trade is going to be the Orioles finally accumulating some of their prospects and trying to do something this year.
You don't know who or what.
I'm gonna say Jackson Holiday, and you're gonna play the sound, but
I'm not.
I think they should
trade
him.
They're not trading Henderson. They're not trading Rutschman, even though he really took a step back last year. Holiday, even though he stunk when he came up, like obviously still has major prospect pedigree.
Yeah.
Like we were saying earlier, the Orioles rotation is horrific, and if they're in it, and the fans are getting antsy because they didn't spend any money all off season and there's enough pressure, I could see them flipping Holiday for someone who's going to sort of step into the Burns role.
Can't wait for Jackson Holiday to be a Dodger and Tony Gonsolin trotting out game 1 of the ALDS.
No, not Tony Gonsolin. No, like a.
I'm ready. I'm ready for Dylan Cease
Chris
to
Sale,
be on that team. It's gonna be for Dylan Cease, right? That's what we're all assuming.
Cease, Michael King, I think, could be someone they take a flyer on. Like
Rich Hill's
in the mix. They're going sale mode, like Ras is implying. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I think it's time for the Orioles to sort of put up or shut up, and I think we're going to find out this year if they're just going to be prospect hoarders forever or actually go for it.
For me, letting Burns walk is the put up or shut up moment for me. But like they still have
the wanted to go back to Arizona.
Yes, like, that's a fair point. But yeah.
Allegedly.
All right. I don't know what my last question is because I had to change it because originally I had written down I couldn't think of a sixth question, and it's let's just do today's immaculate grid or whatever is actually what's written down. But I believe is Sunday night baseball dying good? With MLB has backed out of their contract, or allegedly they had mutually agreed to cancel the contract after this season. Sunday Night Baseball will no longer be a MLB mainstay.
I don't want to give too much away here, but I do know for a fact that a certain network that also broadcasts the Olympics is putting a bid in on Sunday Night Baseball.
Wow, you're really not giving out too much info there.
I can't say which one. I can't say which one, obviously.
The International Olympic Committee is going to be broadcasting Sunday Night Baseball?
Right. OBS is getting
it's just like I'm talking about like the ESPN. I want to be clear.
Right, no.
I mean like the ESPN product.
Here. And on the one hand, like we all sort of grew up on watching Baseball Tonight and that era of ESPN with they really had a vested interest in growing the game, and that clearly wasn't there anymore. It's basically the Stephen A. Smith talks about NFL and NBA network. I don't think ESPN and MLB were good partners anymore, but I do think if Sunday Night Baseball ends up on like Roku TV or Peacock or something like that, that's also really bad for the game.
Yeah. Well, Peacock tried the like Sunday morning have your tea and crumpets baseball show or whatever,
right. And
for
the
a
numbers
season.
On that were abhorrent. Yeah, I think it was 2 years, but the numbers were really, really bad. So I don't know what Roku's numbers were this year, picking up the same package, but
I didn't even know that it still was around.
Oh no, the Yankees played a horrific game on Roku this year, so that's why I remember it.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that like ESPN was not good for MLB anymore, but also MLB being more insular is also not good for the growth of the game.
Yeah. I mean, it's getting so much more difficult to find, all the different streaming platforms. You know what I'm saying? Like we're getting so like, the Yankees play game. Well, yeah, but like it's still like it still meant something, right? Like you knew ESPN is still the whatever. It's not the prestige channel it used to be. But it still kind of was like a thing, right? Sunday Night Baseball, ESPN, like we all grew up with it. Everybody from, our generation or younger or like the old baby boomers could still know that the best game was on ESPN on Sunday nights or the marquee games and it's still kind of crappy that it's going away. And I understand why it's going away. I understand why the couple is getting divorced, right? They no longer see eye to eye and they're agreeing to see other people. I get all that, but it's still kind of shitty. It's still not a good thing when Apple TV picks up this package and now we have Sunday Night Baseball on Apple TV or Prime or even NBC. It's no offense to the mystery network that's bidding on this package, but like, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's just not cool. It's not cool. And I don't know if it's good. I know why they're breaking up. I just don't, I'm going to miss it. And I don't know if it's good.
I think one thing that could have helped baseball is if Garrett Cole threw that no-hitter on Apple, because it would have been an outrage if only 100,000 people got to see one of the best pitchers in the world.
Year when Judge was like one away from the record, and they had a game on Apple, and there was like outrage upon outrage, like, oh, how are you not letting like Yes or ESPN or whatever simulcast it?
I think wasn't Pujols'.
I think if that had happened, it would have been similar, like meltdown.
It would have killed some of the streaming momentum if Garrett Cole threw no hitter.
It was Pujols' milestone homer on Apple TV.
Oh yeah, that 2-homer game was on Apple.
Yeah,
where he got.
So let me flip the question around to you, Ted.
Okay.
Instead of if Baseball Tonight is bad now, which we can all agree, and like it's been bad, it's been strange for a couple years, especially we used to watch that product for a living.
The booth was like not fun,
right? So instead of saying what's bad about now, what used to be good about Sunday Night Baseball that is no longer is? Because we can't just say, "Oh, Carl Ravitch is not. It's not Joe Morgan or whatever." Like there has to be something else.
It was such the like coupling with Baseball Tonight. Like it's the investment of ESPN not caring. Obviously, they have more vested interest in other avenues. I'm not going to go into them because it's a whole other can of worms that I don't want to get into. But like they have no vested interest in showing off baseball. It got to the point where Sunday Night Baseball just felt like I'm just here so I don't get fined, right? Like it's just like they're doing it because it's the contractual obligation. Because they kept playing musical chairs with the broadcast booth. They were like, there was never any real consistency, but with that booth, the booth, it would always vary from good to okay to not great.
The downright bad.
The downright bad. I also feel like the mixing is always so bad for Sunday Night Baseball that like you hear like a home run
and
it
fucking bomb went off,
and it sounds like you're about to get shot in the back of the head. And then like I just feel like I know this is not a purely ESPN only thing. I hate the on-field interviews. These guys are trying to play a game with like,
I do too.
With like the things are on like these games. I know it's 162 games and these games are what 1 out of 162 for a lot of these teams. Obviously they only show like maybe 10 teams anyways on Sunday Night Baseball, but these games do matter. Like if like it has never happened, I don't think, but could you imagine if it ever happened? It's never happened in a pennant race or like for the division on the line. You're talking to, you know, whoever in your ear. And I know like Miguel Rojas did the funny, sorry guys, I have to make a play real quick. Could you imagine if he airmailed that throw, Dodgers lose that game by a run, and they're now a wild card instead of like winning the division?
Yeah.
I know obviously could have won another game, whatever, but like
I do think you hit the nail on the head. The issue with Sunday Night Baseball is a lack of interest.
Yeah.
When we were growing up, when I was 12, 13 years old watching Baseball Tonight, I was watching that same hour run from midnight to 1 and 1 to 2, and like just watching the same highlights and hearing the same joke they already recorded, because you could tell that they were interested in baseball. Yeah. They were interested in telling you and recapping the day. And as the money got so huge, they and the money they got from other sports meant they stopped caring as much about baseball, that you could tell that ESPN is not interested in broadcasting baseball anymore. They're doing it because they have to. And so I don't know if the resolution is to like make Sunday Night Baseball an MLB network product. Like, cause I'd rather that instead of Apple TV or Prime or Roku or whatever, because most people can get access to the network, not everybody, but at least it is like, we know the MLB network is interested in broadcasting baseball, right? So like they'll have people that are excited to actually be there and aren't just collecting a paycheck because they're contractually obligated to be in Minnesota on a Sunday night. Like, so I think whoever ends up with Sunday Night Baseball, if it does continue, like they have to actually be interested and want to make us want to watch the game with them, which ESPN has not had for a decade.
That is beautiful, Joe. You treat it like the marquee. Treat it like the marquee event that it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Like treat it with the respect.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I this is not part of the question, and obviously this is more endemic of the state of baseball than, you know, ESPN making these decisions, because obviously Fox has these choices to make in their Saturday games that they broadcast. Is part of the problem seeing Yankees, Red Sox, Dodgers, Padres, Yankees, Mets, Yankees, Red Sox for, you know, 4 straight weeks? Part of the problem of fading interest in these games being shown on, you know, the marquee matchups, which, let's be honest, they're getting the treatment that they should. But like at a point, I can only watch so many Red Sox games with this booth that is uninterested?
I think it's the same issue. I think it's the same issue. It's a combination of lazy producing and just not knowing the sport, because there are other marquee games, right? But the ESPN executives who are maybe not as invested into the sport, maybe not as invested in like the storylines or what teams are good, they just pick the names that they know. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, pick the name, give me a Tom Cruise movie, give me a known star, and then I will air it, rather than like being invested in who is an up and coming team. Like the Tigers I keep going back to the Tigers. The Tigers are an exciting team. Give me a Paul Skeens Pirates game on Sunday Night Football. Sunday Night Baseball. I would watch that. That is a marquee game for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's many other marquee games that don't feature teams that are, the quote unquote big market, big popular teams. And it's just an indicative of like just a lack of, just having real baseball people in charge of these decisions. It's just ESPN. Whoever Stephen A. Smith wants to watch that Sunday, that's who. I think that's in his contract actually. And the $100 million, I think that he gets to choose.
He's choosing Sunday Night Baseball now.
Yeah.
Joe, I do have a counter question for. Actually, I really loved your answer. But like, if MLB Networks has Sunday Night Baseball, where am I supposed to watch Fever Pitch for the 80th time? Where am I supposed to watch The Sandlot?
Brewster's Millions.
Yeah. Where am I supposed to watch that?
That's true. I'd watch. There's so many baseball movies that I had never seen The Natural till Sunday Night Baseball. Yeah, honestly. So that's a good question. So in answer to your question, no, I do not think it is good for baseball that Sunday Night Baseball is dying. I think it's unavoidable at this point just because of their lack of interest. But the alternative of having a vibrant, thriving Sunday Night Baseball community would be better than what we have right now.
Processing the answers. Brr. Congratulations, Ras, for winning today's episode. I can't think of a better person to have a question for next week's episode. I'm sure it's a topic you know so much about. I will text you on the side to ask you to inquire about the question. I will remind you that the question does not have to be topic specific.
Interesting. I can't wait.
Hey, everyone, thank you so much for listening to this episode. Share it. If you don't, it's fine. I'm not gonna do anything. It's your life. Rate it. Do all the things that help with SEO, I guess. I don't know how this stuff works. I've been your host, Ted. The last piece of media I watched was Judd Apatow's 1995 classic, Heavyweights.